So hi everyone, today I'm super excited to show you how to crochet this cute chapstick holder. It is a quick, fun and beginner friendly project that you can finish in just about an hour. Not only super practical, but it also makes a thoughtful little gift for your loved ones. Plus, it is a great way to use up your scrap yarn. So let's get started. First things first, you'll need some yarn. You can use whatever you have at home. I'm using a cotton yarn which measures 13 WPI and that is wraps per inch. If you like your project to come out roughly the same size as mine, I recommend using a yarn with a similar thickness. Using a different weight might change the final size, so just keep that in mind. Next, you'll need a 3mm hook. You can use the same types I'm using now or go for an ergonomic one. Next, you also need a D-ring lobster keychain. I got mine online from a DIY store, but you can usually find them at most craft stores. Just search for D-ring lobster keychain and it should pop right up. Next, grab a stitch marker. It is super helpful to keep track of your stitches as you go. You also need a pair of scissors to cut the yarn tail. Any scissors you have at home will do. Lastly, you'll need a darning needle. We'll use this to weave in the yarn tails, and we'll also do a little bit of sewing at the end of the project. Nothing too tricky, I promise. We are going to start off by making a magic ring because we are working in a round. You can use any method you like, but this is how I do it. I'm going to take the tail and place it on top of my two fingers with my left hand thumb securing it. Now, with my right hand on the working yarn, I'm going to wrap it around and making a next shape. Now that I have the X shape, I'll grab the hook and I'm going to go under and over and pull it out and twist it. Now that you have one loop on your hook, see that loop right here? You're going to yarn over and bring it through the loop. And just like that, that is your magic ring. Make sure you're working into these two strands here and not over here, right here, okay? It is important for keeping the shape and structures of your stitches, so do keep that in mind as you go. To begin the first round, we need to work 6 single crochets into the magic ring. It is very simple. First, insert your hook into the magic ring, then yarn over and pull the yarn through the magic ring. Now you'll have 2 loops on your hook. See? 1, 2. Next, yarn over again and pull through both loops on your hook. And just like that, you have done your first single crochet. And see the V here? So each V will represent 1 single crochet. So if you have 6 V's, that means that you have 6 single crochet in total. And we need to do this 5 more times to have a total of 6 single crochets into the magic ring. Now go ahead and count your V's. Make sure that you have 6 V's in total, and that means you have 6 single crochets. And don't forget, you can always pull the yarn tail to tighten and close the ring. It helps keep the center nice and neat. Now for round 2, we need to work 6 increases. An increase simply means you'll have to work 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So let's start with the first one. And don't forget to mark your first single crochet of the round with a stitch marker. This will help you keep track as you go. See here? This way, you'll always know exactly where each round ends. Now go ahead and work another single crochet into the same stitch, right into the same spot. So that completes your first increase. Now you need to repeat this for 5 more times. Remember, into each stitch here, you'll need to work 2 single crochet. I'm reaching the end of the round now. So let me just quickly finish this last single crochet, and by the time you finish, you should have 12 single crochets in total. Moving on for round 3, we need to work 2 single crochets followed by 1 increase, and we need to repeat this for 4 times in total. So start with your first single crochet. And don't forget to place your stitch marker back onto the first single crochet of the round. Again, into the next stitch, 1 single crochet. Then into the following stitch, work 1 increase. That means 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Now, you'll need to repeat this sequence for 3 more times. I'm reaching the end of the round now. Again, let me just quickly finish this last single crochet, and by the time you finish, you should have 16 single crochets in total. I have my lipstick here and I'm using it to check the diameter. I'm not measuring the exact diameter, just roughly eyeballing it to get a general sense of the size. Since the base is a bit smaller, so I'll just tilt it like this and line it up to make sure the size is looking right so far. But if you find that it is a bit too small for you, you can try this alternative pattern for round 3. It is a good idea to weave in your yarn tail now, since it will be much harder to do it later on, especially once we have completed to the top, because you'll need to turn the piece inside out to weave in. So do it now. After you have satisfied with the size of your base, moving on to the next round is very simple. You just need to work 1 single crochet into each stitch, starting from round 4 all the way to the top. So if you are following the standard pattern, which I do, you should have 16 single crochets in each round. But if you are doing the alternative round 3, then you should have 18 single crochets in each round going forward. Starting from round 4 onward, you can crochet as many rounds as you need depending on the size of your chapstick or lip balm. I'm going up to round 20 for mine. So now I'm starting round 4. From this point onward, just work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Always remember to place your stitch marker back onto the first single crochet of each round to help you keep track of your stitches. Just crochet as much as you need until you achieve your desired size. So as you can see, as we work through round 6 onwards, the shape is starting to change. It is shifting from a flat circular shape into a cylindrical shape, so it helps to hold your chapstick or lip balm. Now I've reached round 20, you can go ahead and do a quick fit check. just insert your chapstick or lip balm to see if it fits nicely. If you feel like it needs to be more length, feel free to add a few more rounds. I'm happy with the size so far, so let's move on to the next step. At this point, go ahead and remove your stitch marker. Then slip stitch into the next stitch to finish off the round. Now, we're moving on to the strap. Start by chaining 1. Then starting from the next stitch, work single crochets, just enough to fit the width of your D-ring. I'll be doing 6 single crochets in total, and that is just enough to fit my D-ring nicely. Now chain 1 and turn your work. Starting in the stitch right below the chain, work 6 single crochets across the row. Just keep repeating that row for as many times as you need. I'm repeating it up to row 27 for the length I want. Now we've reached row 27, it is time for another fit check for the D-ring. If you would like the strap to be a little longer, then feel free to add a few more rows until it is just right for you. Once you are happy with the length, you can go ahead and cut the yarn, but make sure to leave a long enough tail for sewing the strap in place later on. I'm leaving around 10 to 15 centimeters before cutting it off. Now remove your stitch marker and we are ready to fasten off. To fasten off, you just yarn over and pull through the loop. Before sewing the strap in place, make sure to slide the D-ring onto the strap. You have to position it before you start stitching. Now bring the yarn tail into your darning needle and neatly align the strap to the back of your piece. I'm just using a basic sewing method, stitching back and forth to secure it in place. I won't be able to show you this part in detail since it is a bit tricky to do it while recording, but don't worry, you can find plenty of tutorials online if you need help with the sewing. But after all, it is just very easy. Just go back and forth. After you have finished sewing, go ahead and weave in the yarn tail. I've just done that. So now we are ready to cut it off. And that is how you crochet your very own chapstick holder. It is such a quick and satisfying little project. You can definitely finish it in under an hour. It makes a super cute and thoughtful gift, especially when you are short on time but still want to add a handmade touch to it. Have fun making it. Till next time. Bye bye.